In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast. Good evening. I'm Mikey Fahey, and this is Decision 2024. Just kidding. This is the Freedom Friends Podcast Master Debate. John, we're sitting in our circle.
Yeah.
Sticks in our hand, drinks on the table. What's about to happen?
We're about to masturbate.
Only this time, we are going to master debate, but we're going to master debate about the presidential debate.
We're going to debate the debate on the debate.
We're debating the debate on the debate. Yeah. Justin, roll them sponsors. Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number one sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. Check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet, sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends Podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret. We're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/Freedom Friends Podcast, or use the code Freedom Friends Podcast at checkout.
Clear winner?
Well, raise your hand if you think we're all fucked. But yeah, pretty clear winner, I think. Yeah. I've said it before, though, man. I hate making fun of an old man in decline. You know, I feel like I'm picking low-hanging fruit. But at a certain point, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man?
You know, I watched CNN, and because, you know, I'm more of on the right than I am the left. Yeah. I wanted to see what the opposing side had to say about the debate because I have an open mind.
Hold on. Did you say you watched the debate on CNN?
Yeah.
So they're the only ones that.
But no, they live streamed it from everywhere else and whatever.
Yeah, but it was blanketed CNN.
No,
yeah.
CNN hosted the debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're saying you watched their reactions.
Yes, immediately afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But so they didn't allow somebody else to have a camera in there.
Yeah.
No,
correct.
They didn't.
No.
So every other feed
yes, I agree with you.
said like so they could alter or cut or not cut whatever they wanted to do.
And they didn't. And if they did, they did it. Did they do it in favor of Trump? Because that doesn't seem like a CNN move.
Like, I would have loved to seen like the commercials in the corner and the live feed during the commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but that's why they did it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on Trump's request.
I don't know, because the reaction of everyone on the panel was like, holy fuck, the Democratic Party's in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at Michelle and I'm like, I wonder who paid them. Who paid CNN? Who's the new man? It's going to be.
See, my question was different. My question was, how much did CNN pay Trump and Biden to debate on their platform?
Well, the best part.
Well, the reason that I asked that is because they're not candidates yet.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, because
they're doing a quote unquote presidential debate.
Yeah.
And neither of them are the elected candidate by their parties.
Yeah.
So the way I looked at it was, we're going to have these two idiots get up here on stage and debate for 90 minutes so the Democratic Party can put somebody else in the candidates.
Oh,
well,
so you're throwing tinfoil hat on already.
No. I knew this before the fucking debate.
It sure felt that way at the end of the debate when you listened to all their comments.
100%.
Yeah. And since then, I mean, the 25th Amendment conversations have happened pretty often this week.
It has nothing to do with the current presidency.
Right.
It has to do with who they're going to choose as their candidate for the next election.
Well, I agree with that. But to Mikey's point, it was so bad that they were talking 25th Amendment shit, which because
Like,
the
what do we
news
do from
channels
now
are-
till then? Yes.
But do you really think they want Kamala in there?
no fucking way, dude. Dude, you think we're fucking made fun of now in the world? Holy shit. I can't listen to her talk without getting mad. Like, her
It's so
speaking
bad.
makes me angry because
Yeah.
she's so fucking uneducated and stupid. Actually, I shouldn't say uneducated. She's wildly educated.
Right.
She's super educated. She's a fucking idiot is
But
the problem.
she
Like,
speaks like she was spoken to in college.
Why
Yeah.
else would the Democratic Party agree to doing a presidential debate
Didn't just
before
agree.
their candidate
their idea.
before their candidate was even selected?
But I don't know if it was just the Democratic Party. I think the executive branch. I think Biden himself like wanted to.
he had
Yeah.
no idea the second and third party implications of doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, I-
He doesn't know. He doesn't even know where the fuck he is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after that, dude, I think it shows one thing undeniable, and that is that the Democratic Party, in and of itself, is split in so many different pieces of pie.
well,
right?
I think there's a huge fear that they're going to lose, which is
It should,
warranted.
It should be a very real fear.
Like,
Yeah.
if you didn't
Like,
know,
if the election happened today,
if
that's
you
it.
didn't know that,
Yeah.
if that was your first experience on how Biden is, like,
they don't watch the same news as you, though, bro. Like,
what
like,
rock do you live under?
it's called
true.
MSNBC and CNN. That's
Yeah.
the rock they live under. They live under MSNBC and CNN that only show the bad shit that Trump does.
Yeah.
And,
No, it's not even-
all this slanderous shit. They never talk about Biden being fucking like his gaffes and stuff. They don't cover his gaffes.
No.
They don't cover his mistakes. They never have. And I understand why.
but
It's
they
a business.
but they pointed it out. Like I flipped through CNN, I flipped through ABC, NBC, all of them, right?
Mhm.
And they were all talking about how
Everything.
disaster it was.
It was, you know what it was? It was the most balanced news I've seen in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
It was the
So-
most balanced news because
What was-
every Fox and CNN and MSNBC all had the same opinion.
What was your favorite part about the debate?
The debate itself?
Yeah.
I liked the format.
I have my favorite part, and it was a sentence that Trump said.
Yeah, well, I know which one this is.
Is it I don't know what he said either. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I have no idea what he just said, and I don't think he knows either.
My favorite part about the debate was that they muted their microphones when it wasn't their turn.
And there's no audience.
And there was no audience.
I appreciated that.
Me
Like,
too.
Well, because they got to ask like 4 more questions because they didn't have
Yeah.
to wait for them to
They have
stop
to wait.
clapping.
Yeah. Well, and the only thing I don't think I saw a single question get answered.
There was a couple that got answered, but there was a lot that did not get answered.
Yeah.
Like the biggest one that did not get answered was Trump and childcare.
Yeah.
Right. Like he didn't even take a swing at that
Well,
one.
Biden didn't either. Like, I
Oh, but
I
he
think
talked a little bit about it.
he did, but it was incoherent.
Yeah.
Like it was incoherent ramblings. So it's
Yeah.
like fuck. Yeah, that one.
Childcare is such a hard subject to
It really
talk
is.
about because
You-
it's either government subsidized and then like, okay, so we're a socialist country,
Right.
or it's an ass load to put your kids in childcare.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
problem is that childcare right now is so insanely expensive.
But look at it from the standpoint of the people that are doing.
That are watching
child
kids.
care.
Yes. Like I agree. Like they have to.
Like, do you want somebody watching your kids getting paid $8 an hour?
Absolutely not.
Or do you
How
want-
much do you think you have to pay per week in order for your kid to get watched by somebody that gets paid a salary enough where they actually take pride in what they do for a job?
Well,
Or do you want to watch anybody else's kid for how much money?
I would never get into
Never.
that industry.
Yeah.
well, I would say this, and this is just world according to Mike Fahey, right? I understand how expensive it is because I've seen that side of it, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that in my experience, we give tax breaks and fucking like like you get your $1,000 credit
Yeah.
every year for your fuck trophies and such
Yeah.
and stuff like that. First time home buyers and I mean there's thousands of
Yeah.
tax credits that you get every year,
Yeah.
right?
Where the government allows you to keep the money that you made to begin with.
Correct,
Yep.
correct.
Yeah.
But they give it back to you
Right.
in form of that, right?
But they don't give you the interest that they made on it.
That's correct also. I didn't say it wasn't fucked. I said that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it with that system, and if you want to actually help healthcare, I would propose a fucking tax credit for it then.
Of like how much though? Because
Well,
there is one already.
For the business?
Well, so that
Or for the
$1,000
individual?
No, for the individual paying for health
the
care.
$1,000 that you get per kid,
Yeah.
I would probably double that, even though currently I don't think that would fucking put a dent in child.
What if you get to write off your childcare costs against your taxes 100%? Like, say you have to pay $30,000 a year in childcare.
right?
Which is very realistic.
It's very
Yeah,
real.
yes.
It might be on the
right.
on the low end.
And let's say
quite realistic,
you owe 12 grand in taxes. You get to write that off against it. Now I don't know. You don't get money back, but you don't have to pay.
See, that's a great idea. And why not? They do that with education. They do that with business
Yeah.
expenses. They do that with so many expenses out there. Why not?
But the hardest
that.
part,
Because everybody would have kids. Just
well, no, because what it would
Here's
be,
the thing is right now, like pregnancy has dropped fucking dramatically in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people aren't having babies like they used to. So if anything, now's the fucking time to strike.
it'll be just like every other government subsidized anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you have government subsidized housing?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's the government give? Sweet. That's your rent now.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what it is. Oh, they're going to write off 30 grand a year. Cool. You owe us 30 grand a year now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all it does is increase the prices. Nothing's free.
True.
Anything that gets taxed, people take advantage of it because they can.
Yeah.
It's a system. It's there. It's fucked. But the entire tax system in the United States
Well,
is broken.
And like I have 4 boys, right? And it's a choice and a situation that I put myself in.
Yeah.
But now your family was a single income family because of that choice.
Well, yeah, because we
Or Michelle could have worked and paid for childcare and not putting any money in the bank.
right. So it made no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a wash.
Yep.
Smiles and wife works from home. But up until she got this job, and she's only had this job for a few years, we were a single income family as well, and so I completely understand that. And that you're right, that was a
Yep.
choice. Like we knew that the cost of childcare. Why would you work to pay someone to watch your kids when you could just watch your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's freaking ridiculous. You know, like I mean, that logic worked in like high school when you were working to have a car.
Right.
You were working to have gas money. You were working or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like that understood. But nowadays, no. Man, like if you're working to pay for childcare, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What is this? Toddler daycare cost in Texas. Full days, 5 days a week, $2,945. That is
Every what?
every what? Is that per month
Per week.
or per week?
5 days per week. That's 3,000 a week.
No, there's no way.
No. That's no way.
That's $600 a day.
Oh yeah.
For 5 days per week in Texas, full day rates.
Yeah.
That's
That's what they're saying.
$837 a month. $617 to $837 per month.
Okay.
3 days a week, $345 to $436 per month. 2 days per week, $236 to $289 per month.
Yeah,
Okay.
daycare in Texas ranges from $35 to $100 per day.
That is
So
fucking batshit.
in Europe, they have a thing called an au pair.
Yep.
And essentially it's a nanny.
That lives with you.
Yeah.
It's a live-in nanny.
And it is like, it's a profession over there. It's not just like, oh, well, I do it every now and then, blah, 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 whatever. No, like,
My ex-girlfriend had an au pair in California.
yeah, it's like your kids grow up with this third
Yeah.
adult in their household throughout their entire
But that's
childhood.
here in America. That's something that rich people just use as a nanny, and the nanny raises the kids because mom's too fucking good for it. Like that. That would be like, that'd be like, hey, we had a baby. Now we're gonna pay for another mouth to feed to take care of the one that we had. Like it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. Unless
But-
you have that income. If you
unless-
have that
yeah,
kind of
if you-
income,
But
fucking A.
in Europe, they don't all have that income.
Right.
But what they do is they factor in that on top of everything else that they have, because they know that that's the best bet for the kids. And the only reason I know any of this is my sister was an au pair for a family in Italy. And so I had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, why? Like, it's not because you want your kids to learn English. They learn that in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so throughout all the conversations, and that's what it was, is they factor in their budget how much they need to spend every year for all year round, not just the summertime. in order to do this, because childcare isn't an option.
Right.
And it's not because it's not affordable. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Like it's a different culture, you know?
Interesting.
So, Mikey, what's your golf handicap?
Is it a 6?
Like my,
How about
like,
8?
It's like
Maybe an 8?
It's like a 20. Like I'm dog shit. But
20 is still pretty goddamn good.
But here's the thing, right? Your golf handicap's like your height, right? Mikey, how tall are you?
6'1".
Okay. You sure it's not 5'10"?
Yeah,
Sure it's not 6'3"?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Depends. Am I wearing cowboy boots?
How do you fuck up your golf handicap? Oh, it's a 6. No fucking way. And he's like, okay, it's an 8.
Well, he said no.
He started off with a 6, and then he said it was an 8.
He said when he was vice president, he got it down to a 6
Don't care.
I still don't fucking believe that for a
it doesn't
second.
fucking matter.
Nobody believes it, and nobody. And here's
Like,
the thing:
if
is,
you have to bullshit about your golf handicap,
but two old white guys arguing about their golf handicap
That was
during a
the-
presidential debate,
that was the best part of the debate in my mind.
which happened fucking 30 seconds after it was two
No,
old
it
white
was-
guys complaining about fucking or talking about how to give black people homes. They were talking about feet.
Don't
and
care.
I was like,
Don't care.
black people already have homes.
That
you
was
fucking ignorant.
That
pricks.
was the most
Like-
honest exchange between those two people out of the whole
Yeah.
debate.
probably. Oh, probably. Yeah, probably.
You know, and then Biden's whole thing now, right after the debate, is Trump lied about everything. Okay. For example, let's list them. What did Trump lie about? If you're listening to this,
There was a couple things that were inaccurate.
probably,
I don't remember.
but there's a lot of things Biden said that were just downright fucking lies too.
well, that and just ludicrous.
Yeah.
Just and I think it's just because he just didn't know.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of the the rally afterwards with Jill Biden?
Oh, I was getting
But
to
she's
that.
like, "Good job, Joe.
You answered all
every
the
question."
questions.
I talk like
It's
that.
a fucking presidential debate.
like a fucking toddler. You knew
I
all
talk
the
like-
facts. You're
I-
so good.
I talk like that when I talk to my dog.
Yes, yes. She
So-
was talking to Kira essentially.
We know one of Joe Biden's handlers now.
100%. Like
you
oh,
answered
fuck.
all the questions.
You knew all the facts. You answered all the questions. Here's a gold star and a treat. I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, man.
And what did Trump do? Lie. Okay.
yeah.
My favorite is like when you go through. So like I just Googled 2024 debate fact check.
No.
Right.
I'm being serious.
And so AP News, right? Their first one, January 6th. And it says Trump, quote, they talk about relatively small numbers of people that went to the Capitol and in many cases were ushered in by the police.
Right.
Okay. I happen to see the videos of that.
I have seen the videos of that.
Right.
I've also
I think
seen
we
the
all have seen those videos
Yeah.
at this point.
That's real.
Now, their next paragraph. The facts. That's false. The attack on the U.S. Capitol was the deadliest assault on the seat of American power in over 200 years.
The deadliest assault. One person died.
No. Not according to them. Multiple people
And
died.
was shot by Capitol Police.
Multiple people died.
There was another one that had a heart attack.
No. We can't use that in a fact check. He just died.
Okay.
It was because of January.
Well, let's
6th.
fact
It was
check the fact check.
insurrection.
How many people died during January?
There's one person that died.
Yeah.
That was it. There's one person.
Okay.
Okay.
Now the shitty part is if you listen to the live audio from when that happened, and that was released and then redacted, and it's nowhere to be found now anymore. But that officer that shot reported shots fired before he shot. There were no fucking shots fired because
No,
I saw that video as well.
There was a video of it happening, man.
yeah.
Now, that chick who was a veteran was trying to break through a barricaded doorway.
Yes.
And was told multiple times to stop.
Yes.
before you
100%.
get shot.
I don't think that was an unjustified shooting.
And I guarantee you that
You know?
the officer that shot her had very strict rules of engagement that if anybody
Yeah.
passed this point,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, you know, what are the
And you have to have that.
She breached the window
Well,
yeah.
so you
and
think
got shot in the face.
military and law enforcement's definition of deadly force is a force that a person uses for the purpose of causing or reasonably no creative substantial risk of serious bodily harm or death, correct?
Okay.
So because of that, guess what I did for a living for a long time? All right. So because of that, there's justifications And there's a universal 7 justifications for deadly force: self-defense, defense of others, defense of property concerning national security, defense of
Right.
property not concerning national security, but is inherently dangerous to others, apprehension and arrest, evade and escape, right? So defense of property concerning national security is that. Deadly force was authorized.
It was authorized. It should have been
100%. You know what I mean? And like this has been law of code of conduct.
And
for years.
are we saying in January 6th that nobody did anything wrong? Absolutely not. Right?
We said it January 7th. We're like, these people are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, are there people that went to jail that did nothing wrong?
Also
Absolutely.
true. Yes.
Like it's somewhere in between people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, there's
But what did Trump lie about?
there's 3 sides of the story.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it
He said,
depends
she
on who
said
you
the
look
truth.
at, who fact checks it,
Yeah.
right? Because so I'm reading through this one on the AP News, and essentially every single thing they're fact checking is Trump.
No, is this the Trump fact checks?
Well, no, it's both. It's just about the title of the article is here's a look at some of the false claims made during Biden and Trump's first debate. So it's not here's what Trump said wrong.
So read some more. What are,
Yeah.
Let's see.
I like this whole I have my iPad out.
I do it on the Warfighter podcast because we actually talk about shit. On this, we're usually it's just dick jokes, so I don't
That's-
ever bust it out. It was just here because we just recorded the Warfighter one.
That's true. We should
Okay,
all-
so
we
that
should all
was
bring our
that.
iPads in now and just do that. It'll just be us on the fucking iPad the whole time.
Taxes and regulations. Trump on Biden says, quote, he wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. The facts. That's not accurate. Trump has used this line in rallies, but it has no basis in fact. Biden actually wants to prevent tax increases on anyone making less than $400,000, which is a vast majority of taxpayers. More importantly, Biden's budget proposal does not increase taxes as much as Trump claims.
right. Okay. I can see that.
Hold on, though.
Stretch.
Let me back up to the previous sentence. Biden actually wants to prevent tax increases. And
Yeah.
then the next sentence, Biden's budget proposal does not increase taxes as much as Trump claims.
But not a 0, which means they just talked out of both sides of their mouth. in
I'm
that
just
article.
saying.
Yeah. I mean, this is clearly a bias article.
It is. Let's see the next one. Trump referring to January 6th, the day a mob of his supporters stormed the Capitol in efforts to stop the certification of Biden's victory. Then it says, quote, on January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. What does any of that have to do? Anyways,
Well, that's what he
we
said.
had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever on January 6th. The facts. The current federal income tax was only...
Okay, so this is a tax question, quote, and they decided to throw in that extra,
yeah.
that extra
Right?
little
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
It's clearly a bias argument.
Okay, the insulin. Biden, quote, it's $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400. The facts. No, that's not exactly right. Out-of-pocket insulin costs for older Americans in Medicare were capped at $35 in 2022. That President Joe Biden signed into law. The cap took effect last year. Blah, 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 blah. But Biden's regularly overstates that many people used to pay up to $400 a month. People with diabetes who have Medicare or private insurance paid about $450 yearly prior to the law.
See, do you hear the change in tone when they talk about Biden
100%.
versus when they talk about Trump? You know what I mean?
let's see.
That right there is that right there tells you everything.
Climate change. Trump, touting his environmental record, said that during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever.
Perfectly clean water.
The facts. That's far from the whole story. During his presidency, Trump rolled back some provisions of the Clean Water Act, easing regulations on coal, oil, and gas companies, and pulling the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord. When wildfires struck California in 2020, Trump dismissed the scientific consensus that climate change had played a role. Trump also dismissed scientists' warning about climate change and routinely proposed deep cuts to the Environmental Protection Agency. Those reductions were blocked by the Democrat and Republican lawmakers. So, once again, the statement was Trump was touting the environmental record, saying, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And then the facts say nothing about the numbers.
Right. Well, not only that, but like, why? Okay.
Let me find somebody.
When Trump said something about the Paris Climate Accords, Why didn't he just say, why do we have to pay?
He said it during the debate.
But he didn't say we can still be the best at it without paying somebody else.
Well, essentially, you know why he pulled out?
He needs. Yeah, I know, because nobody else was fucking paying, right?
It had nothing to do with that.
And he did say that. Though.
No. It wasn't about it wasn't about the money that was going to be paid into it. That wasn't the factor of why he pulled out of the Paris climate change. It was because the largest producers of CO2 in this world,
Right.
China, India, and Russia, are not a part of it and don't follow any regulations whatsoever.
Right.
So the majority of the monies that were going to be put into the Paris climate change were from the US. But it doesn't fucking matter because the largest producers of pollution in the world aren't a part of it.
So they don't give a shit.
But you just said that more articulately than he did. Like, why didn't he explain that? Why didn't he say, just because I pull out of this doesn't mean he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He never said we still have the best numbers in the world, even without being in the Paris climate accord.
He didn't say that they were the largest producers, but he said that we're not part of the Paris Climate Accord because of these countries.
Right.
These countries don't follow what was put out.
But put yourself in the seat of somebody who's really big on climate change, right? Or whatever, right? He needs to say the United States still has the best numbers in the world as far as pollution control and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like he leaves these on the table. Like,
yeah.
I think
you're right. It's a layup.
I think
it's a layup, and he just fucking lets it bounce off the fucking backboard.
I think the reason is because in that high up in government, you're so far removed from the day-to-day of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That these aren't the talking points that you think of, right? Your talking points are brought to you by somebody that wrote them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now,
like, they don't have firsthand experience.
They're brought to you by your fucking press secretary who, let's be real, she's a fucking
or
idiot.
A speechwriter or your campaign team. You know what I mean? And they're looking at, like, if we say this, it affects this, and that. It's not like, no, I'm just going to put the facts out there and let you make your own decision. Yeah. We have to say it in a way that's going to bend your mind to think this way.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely manipulated. I mean? Yeah. But that's any person in power.
But no,
forever. They're always manipulated.
But
right?
their team coaches them to go that direction.
For sure.
Yep.
100%.
So what are these other lies?
Hold on, I just switched because that one.
Yeah, that one was fucking trash.
And I don't want a fucking video. I fucking wish that I could just read things on the internet and I don't have to watch a goddamn fucking video.
We're regressing.
It's seriously. Okay, the Washington Post. This is biased too, but let's play it.
Let's hear their fact checks.
And fuck you and your pop-ups.
There's one.
Biden says we brought on in a position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs.
Yeah.
That hurt me to read it. We brought on in a position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. Quote Biden. The number of manufacturing jobs has rebounded since the pandemic, but growth in these jobs is essentially stalled. Only about 25,000 of the nearly 800,000 manufacturing jobs were created since January 2023.
See, that's another thing that's been bugging the fuck out of me. Is Biden takes credit for all this, I've had the most fucking job growth in the history of the world. Well, yeah, dude, because we came out of a pandemic where the fucking job fucking market dropped to nothing.
Yeah.
You can and you can't even hold that against Trump. Like, he didn't do that.
And Trump, like, Biden's the one that shut down most everything for the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, Trump may have done the 2 weeks to flatten the curve, but like, once Biden took office, everything was still fucked up.
Yeah.
And he tries throwing that on Trump too.
Well, so
and it's like,
it was about a year.
What the fuck, man?
Right?
Let's
So the
just be
pandemic,
fair.
everything fucking started and got shut down, March, April of 2020.
March 7th or March 18th.
Okay.
Remember, we went to St. Patty's Day the day before.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We were drinking on St. Patty's Day.
So March
the
of
day before.
2020.
Yep.
Biden took over January 7th, 2021.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So it was about a year.
Now,
And shit didn't reopen till when?
but we didn't have a completely Republican controlled House and Senate.
Right.
And those are the ones that made the majority of the decisions during COVID.
Yeah.
right?
Truth.
And one of them was heavily Democratic leaning. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, so you could say it's bipartisan if you want to call it that.
Both of them were at that point. We had fucking
Yeah.
They had a super majority in the House and Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. What are some of the other ones that Trump, a lot of credit for the military and no wars. This is not true. Trump office says he was the first president in 72 years not to have any wars, which takes us back to 1948 when Truman was elected in his own right after stepping in to finish Franklin D. Roosevelt's term months before the end of World War II. This is a more broad-based claim that a statement Trump made in his farewell address as president, that he had started no new wars.
I think that's what he was trying to say, right? Is
Yeah, but
I didn't
so
start
they're-
any wars.
They're saying he's not the only one. They're not saying he didn't start any new war.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
they're basing it off of the years he said it didn't happen.
What's-
72. Okay, so let's go 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
that's not true. Because somebody did it 70 years ago. That's funny.
Let's see, what's this one? The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs that bounce back from COVID. This is false. Biden's job record in his first 3 years certainly tops Trump's performance. In the first 3 years of Trump's term, about 6.5 million jobs are created, less than half the number created under Biden in the same time period. The number of jobs is now 6.2 million higher than the peak under Trump in February 2020, before the pandemic struck. Meanwhile, employment for the native-born population has increased by almost 6.8 million under Biden. Employment of foreign-born workers increased by about 5 million. That's from 2021, though. So we're 3 years behind on that. It also includes legally admitted immigrants, blah, blah, blah. It says nothing about the fact that
They were
COVID,
bounce back. Yeah.
like, yeah, it's not even a bounce back. It's just like, if you're an American citizen and you can't understand that the majority of the people during COVID lost a job,
Right.
Lost a job.
Right.
right?
Yeah, I remember.
Whether it was they couldn't work because everything was shut down.
Well, a lot of people had more than one job, too.
But hold on. They couldn't work because everything was shut down. They quit because they wanted to try to work somewhere else so they could still have an income. Or the third option is whoever they worked for went out of business because they couldn't survive COVID.
Yeah.
They couldn't survive the government mandated shutdown.
Which happened to, like, what is it? Something terrible. It's like 60% of small
it's a
business.
crazy amount.
Like, went out of business during fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
It's a
know.
crazy
Can you
amount.
look that up, dude? Can you look up how the percentage of businesses that went out of business during COVID? Because I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Like, because that right there will tell you an inordinate amount about this topic, right? Like, because it's a factor. It's a huge factor.
One thing. Go ahead.
It's just not to mention like bigger corporations that fucking also just slimmed down.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't need a director of fucking whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know, you don't need an events guy.
Yeah.
You know, like at the time, I worked for Grunt Style at the time, right? And I was their events coordinator. Somehow I kept a fucking job. I'm not sure how. I'll be honest with you. If they would have been like, sorry, bro, you got to go.
Mikey, where did you do events during COVID?
The Alamo
Where else? The Midwest.
in the Midwest.
The places where COVID
That's
didn't really
true.
affect.
That's true. I still did events for.
So you
yeah,
did
that's true.
events in Republican states.
That's true. That's true. South Carolina, Florida, fucking Nebraska, and
I don't know if I'm
Texas.
having more fun talking about
That's
the
true.
topics in the debate or these bullshit articles that are fact checking.
Yeah.
Dude.
Right. So here, this one's pretty good.
It's just another example of that we can't fucking even trust the goddamn news anymore,
So
man.
here's one. He had the largest tax cut in history, $2 trillion. That was said by Biden, followed up by Trump. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. And that was said by Trump. And the fact check is this is false. Trump's tax cut amounted to nearly 0.9% of the GDP, meaning it was far smaller than President Ronald Reagan's tax cut in 1981,
Yeah.
which was 2.89% of the GDP. What's the difference in the GDP between 1981 and 2024?
Probably the value of the dollar.
There was 33-year difference.
Yeah.
Let's look that up.
Well, no, because
But no, if you're basing it, well, okay, what was the GDP in 1980 whatever versus now?
they're basing it off of a percentage of the GDP.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking bullshit.
Like, is the dollar amount the same or different?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was it, 1981, you said?
Yeah.
So GDP 1981 was 3.207 trillion. All right.
Here, I got GDP 2024.
What was your number, Mikey?
3.207 trillion.
Okay.
Why won't you give me a fucking number?
Well, so no, so we're not talking about 2024 though, right?
Oh, no. So, okay. So let's just say 2024. Okay. The GDP of the United States in 2024 is just under 29 million.
Okay.
So what was it then?
29 million. That ain't right.
Or excuse me, 29 trillion.
29 trillion.
Okay. So 3% of
So 3 trillion
What was yours?
versus 29 trillion.
No, what was yours?
3.207.
Okay. So 2.89% of 3 trillion versus just shy of 1% of 29 trillion.
yeah,
Dude, he fucking murdered him.
right? So let's fact check the fact check.
You know what I mean? Like,
What the fuck,
fucking
man?
bullshit.
That's totally
Like,
true.
you know what?
then.
I can take data over the last 100 years and manipulate it to sound like
Yeah.
you're wrong too.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, see, that's what I'm talking about. You can't fucking trust fuck all
Yeah.
because you can literally just word play the data and you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on, man.
Well, and then Biden telling, the whole story about people coming out of the woods with swastikas and fucking,
What the fuck was that, man? Like-
and then like,
I love the fact that Trump was just like, everybody said that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Like,
not true.
And well, don't get me wrong. So one thing that Trump did say that this was true. Biden said that he said this, and this is true. Is he said that there was good people on both sides that night.
He did say that.
but he
After.
wasn't talking about the ideology of the
No, no,
people. He was
after.
talking about the physical people that were there that
He
day.
wasn't talking about those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. The sentence before that was excluding all the neo-Nazis and fucking whatever.
Yeah.
There was also good people here.
on both sides.
On both sides.
Context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's again, where it's manipulated with wordplay, right? Like, but he brought it up during the debate and the whole coming out of the woods thing. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Right.
And I think most of America was too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're all like, what the in Richmond, Virginia, dude. There's not fucking woods in downtown Richmond, you whack job. Like, it's so weird.
I want to be a fucking writer for these places. This is Washington Post right now.
Well, they're dumb
Quote,
shit.
I'd love to ask him why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country. End quote, Trump.
Yep.
Washington Post. This is poppycock.
What the fuck?
This is poppycock.
Yeah.
Immigration experts know of no effort by other countries to empty their prisons and mental institutions. Immigration experts, right? Let me guess, they work for the Biden administration.
Well, that might not have been the intent.
Trump appears to be channeling Cuban leader Fidel Castro's 1980 Mariel boat lift. Oh, this is great.
Here you go.
He destroyed Medicare because all these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security by Trump. Undocumented immigrants improve the health of Social Security and Medicare by paying payroll taxes without receiving benefits.
I mean, that is a true statement.
Yes.
How many illegal immigrants do you know that get a legitimate paycheck with a pay stub?
One. I know one. I know one.
Yeah. Does he have a work visa? Does she have a work visa?
She has 6 anchor kids. She's my sister-in-law.
Does she have a work visa or a green card?
She's got a green card.
That doesn't count. That's not an illegal immigrant.
Oh no, she's documented.
That's not an illegal
Yeah,
immigrant.
you're right. Right. She's documented.
How
So-
many illegal immigrants do you know
Well, I don't know any.
that actually pay taxes?
Fucking hard zero.
How many business owners do you know that hire illegal immigrants that pay taxes for their illegal immigrants? That put them on payroll and don't pay them cash under the table.
I know a lot of dudes who own landscaping companies, and they don't pay their employees on the over
Yeah,
the
they pay
table.
'em
That's for
cash.
sure. It's not over the table. It's that other one. And by employees, I mean dudes they pick up at Home Depot in the morning.
In a fact check, we calculated that the figure for Social Security payments made by undocumented immigrants is now about $27 billion. That's it.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. So, Social Security's. I have know how to weigh in on
I didn't know this was going to be a fact-checking debate.
I wish I could find like a unbiased
I don't think it's possible.
no.
Because and I'll tell you why. Because the people who pull the strings for big media are Democrats. They back the blue, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, they're also now grasping at fucking straws. So they will fucking stack the deck
But what
on the internet as much as they can.
they do.
what does that say about
much as they
Biden's
can.
lies? Does it say anything?
I mean,
I'm trying to find them,
Yeah.
they're not.
which is the worst part because there's so many.
Yeah. And it was like, dude.
But what about PolitiFact? Is that
Maybe they're thinking because he's just incompetent and doesn't actually know that it's not a lie.
Well, so here, one of the things I thought was funny is that Biden tried to claim that the veteran and military and veteran communities
Yeah.
support him better than any president in history.
Yeah. That's
And I was like, bro, that's a hard fucking no,
my
dude.
absolute favorite when he was
Like-
like, the Border Patrol supports me. And then the Border Patrol came out on Twitter.
They tweeted
Yeah,
it.
right here. To be clear, we never have and never will endorse it Biden.
They work for him.
That was in real
What a-
time.
What a legend.
That was
Yeah.
no, this is the Border Patrol union.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah. Because as a government entity, you can't do that. You can't post that. It's actually illegal. It's just like service members it's illegal for them to be in uniform talking about politics.
and read the next one.
They fact checked Biden.
Yeah, they sure as fuck did. Biden claimed this morning that congressional Republicans have blocked his hiring of thousands of Border Patrol agents. In reality, Republicans have actually funded more agents in recent appropriation bills in spite of Biden, not because of him. We wish @real Donald Trump luck. Hit show more. It looks like there's more to that. We miss him luck tonight in the debate and hope he has enough time to point out all of the ways Biden's border policies have failed. Damn, dude. That's
Yeah.
coming from the union.
That and Biden was saying he had the strongest border ever.
Which is weird because that's a lunatic fucking thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't, man. Like when he was
Okay.
rambling about the
So-
fentanyl machines,
Yeah.
Here's PolitiFact.
I started
Right.
laughing.
PolitiFact, because it's exactly what we're talking about. This is the next one on their list.
Okay.
Is quote Biden, while talking about a bipartisan border bill, he said, quote, by the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position, end quote. The PolitiFact says that's half true, right? And their explanation is the National Border Patrol Council, the U.S. Border Patrol's union, endorsed a bipartisan border security bill in February, but it didn't endorse Biden. Here's what Brandon Judd, the union's president, said about the bill in February. While not perfect, the Border Act of 2024 is a step in the right direction. It's far better than the current status quo, which is, hey, it's better than nothing.
Right.
And then obviously it didn't pass. Then it says, however, Judd and the Border Patrol Union have been critical of Biden and his immigration policies and endorsed Trump in 2020 election. And then it says, quote, to be clear, we never have and never will endorse Biden. Biden allowed in 18 million people. They say it's false. Immigration officials have encountered immigrants illegally crossing the border 9.7 million times under Biden's presidency. When accounting for, quote, gotaways, people who aren't stopped by border officials, the number rises to about 11.4 million.
It's still way too fucking many, man. It's still a terrifying number.
Yeah.
Now, I see the next topic on that list, and I have an interesting opinion about this.
Abortion.
The next topic is abortion. And here's the thing. I don't think that Trump is hardcore against
Well, he's
abortion.
not.
He's not.
He mentioned in there that you also need to get, we need to get elected. Like you
Well-
can't die on this hill, is what he was saying.
Well, and what he said is like, he's like, no, we wanted to give it back to the states because everybody wanted to give it back to the states.
I love the fact that Biden's like, we're going to bring back Roe versus Wade. Like, the Supreme Court ruled on that.
You can't do that.
That's not how this works in this country anymore.
Like, you don't even know your own fucking
new
rules.
Roe versus Wade, but that's a court case they made into case law.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
We're gonna bring it back.
But and then
It's like, dude, aren't you a lawyer? Technically,
hardest part-
Trump is saying we need to meet in the middle on abortion.
the
right?
hardest part about
which
Roe
is fucking
versus
so
Wade,
fair.
Yeah.
right? The
Like-
hardest part about Roe versus Wade and what the Supreme Court decided is the only thing that they decided is this isn't a federal matter.
Right.
This
is a state issue.
because the Constitution is very clear on what is a federal matter and what the states are. Are in
This
charge.
is a state issue. And
This
the
is a
state
state
Supreme
issue.
Courts looked at
And
it.
the reason it is a state issue is because at that level, the people choose based on their votes,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Because on a state level, when
And the
you
people in
vote
Texas
on
were
things-
so fucking surprised. It's
Yeah.
like, you've been enjoying this Texas fucking freedom all this time.
Yeah.
You got to give up something, man. Like, you're going to have conservative choices happen.
I don't agree with the way Texas handled it either.
I don't either. Well, I'm a pro-choice guy. I'll say it to the fucking world.
For the most part, I am too.
It's none of my fucking business.
But there are some instances where, there has to be a compromise. Like,
Right.
don't wait till the third trimester to abort the kid, because all my kids were born in the fucking.
I'm pro-choice to an extent.
I'm pro-choice up to 20 weeks. Which was the fucking medical call for the fucking last time where the fucking fetus cannot survive outside of the mom's body.
I am not
Right?
smart enough to make that decision.
Yeah, me either.
But
But I know it should.
that
be 6
logic
weeks.
tracks.
Right?
If you can take the baby out right then and it can survive,
That's a life. That's alive.
Yeah.
And the better
Before
technology.
that-
Well, it's a
we get-
life before then.
Well, unfortunately, the
but if
better
it can't survive on its own,
Yeah.
right? And all this is determining is when or when not
yeah.
But like
the
Texas,
mother can make the
but
decision.
like Texas is like 6 weeks, right? Most people don't even know
They don't
they're
even
pregnant.
fucking
Right.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
Like,
even find
yeah.
out until fucking
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's when you're late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're late, that
Right.
means you're just late. Like, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah. So
Uh,
I don't know. Like, not a hill that any party should die on. They should be a compromise.
it should be a compromise.
Yeah.
It really should. And honestly, I think that's what the Supreme Court did. The Supreme Court gave it to the states so that your vote, your
That's it.
specific vote, would matter.
The Supreme Court didn't say you can't have an abortion.
They did.
No.
They did not say that.
They did not.
Yeah.
They said, "Hey, give it to the states and let the people fucking vote
That's it.
Yeah.
for how they feel."
It's like, oh,
And if you want to fucking, if Texas wanted to be, hey, we're gonna do a proposition. It's Prop 22. We're gonna fucking say that Prop 22. I don't know what Prop 22 is. I just went to it because one of my favorite numbers. Anyways, fucking
Talking about killing things.
like fucking, if we did, that was for you, Justin. If we did Prop 22, and Prop 22 happened to be the, hey, Texas is going to allow abortion up to the 20th week because that's reasonable.
Right.
what do you make
and
of
they-
the 22nd week?
You know what we should? If we did that up to the 22nd week, I think it's like grapefruit size by then. According to
Put
what
billboards up with just a veteran like this.
Standing next.
no, it's a
With a baby.
It's a baby.
No, with a pregnant belly on the other side.
Yes. Fucking nailed it.
Fucking go to hell.
But if you did that and let the fucking voters actually vote on the singular issue instead of a party,
Yeah.
maybe you would get a different fucking opinion
Yeah.
about what your fucking constituents actually want. Because I guarantee you there is a lot of conservative leaning individuals out there
Yeah.
who are like, I don't give a fuck if you get an abortion.
who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your life?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's not freedom.
Nope.
right? Like, who the fuck am I to say that you can't do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that if they put those individual fucking votes on the ballot for that specific issue, I think they would fucking be open that, you know what? Maybe our constituency isn't as conservative
Or
as you think.
even if they went and throw them into these big fucking bills and they get buried with other bullshit.
Oh, and it's,
Well,
that's
that goes
so
back
much
to the
better.
fucking one bill, one topic
Yeah.
idea. That's the best idea ever.
And then you have
That's day one.
Like-
if I ever get elected to an office like that,
Biden kept going back to the PACT Act, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did push that through, but there was a bunch of bullshit in that fucking bill that none of us wanted.
right?
And
Right.
Yeah.
Which
know?
I believe, didn't Congress get a raise out of the PACT Act?
Yeah,
Now,
I think so.
Like, what the
now,
fuck?
now, if you look at it, right? Who did more for the veteran community? The PACT Act that Biden passed, or community care that Trump passed?
Community care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hands down, community care.
Without a fucking question.
Without a question. Because, and I'll say it this much, Biden can take props for the fucking PACT Act.
How many people?
But
do
Biden
you
did
know?
nothing for the PACT Act
How many people do you
except
know?
sign a piece of paper.
And that was attached to a bill that had a bunch of bullshit.
How many people
Yes.
do you know that have been affected positively by the PACT Act?
Fucking like 4, 5. I know a few. I do know a few.
But what happened?
Well, I mean,
It got noted on their records that it happened during service in the Middle East.
the problem is that the VA is trying to catch up to the PACT Act now. And the VA is trying to figure out how to rate
Well,
injuries from burn pits and what.
Okay, so
right?
so
Like,
say I'm a veteran and I have burn pit fucking injuries, right?
yeah.
Without community care, they're going to untreat it. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, and
That's
so
just-
like I use Tricare more than I use VA, right? Because I'm still because I'm
you're
retired,
retired.
and I have Tricare still, right? Tricare is literally government health care.
So tomorrow I have an emergency urology appointment.
When I broke my ankle, it took me 8 weeks to be seen. By the time I got seen to get my walking boot, I could already walk without a limp.
Tomorrow I have an emergency urology appointment because I was passing a kidney stone 4.5 weeks
Like
ago.
a month ago.
Well, you passed the first one. You still have another one that's in there.
Maybe a couple. Yeah.
Did you see the dude on Kill Tony? Did you see the dude on Kill Tony that fucking took a fucking kidney stone like a pill?
What?
Why?
One of the comedians came out and was doing a joke about his kidney stone and he had it on him. And one of the dudes on the panel was like, let me see that. Grabbed it and fucking popped it.
Wow.
And took a shot and drank his fucking kidney stone. Tony Hitchcliffe lost his shit. And so did, and honestly, I was watching it and so did I.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
Comedians are a fucked up group of
Holy
individuals.
fuck, dude. You want to talk about committing to the bit? Wow. Wow.
You know what? I'm usually all for committing to the bit, but I don't think that bit's worth it.
Dude.
I don't think that
Did he
bit's
at
worth
least
it.
chew it first?
He just fucking gutted it, bro. Yeah. It's fucking, it's amazing. Watch it after the show. And I encourage all of you, please watch it. It's fucking wild. Anyways, sorry. Kidney stone.
Yeah. No, anyway, so
4.5 weeks.
4.5. It took me 2 weeks to figure out who in the VA I could tell about this
True.
because they would ignore me.
Well, you can't get a hold of your PCM.
Yeah.
Emails,
Phone calls, 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, what should I do? I mean, you know,
I haven't spoke to my PCM since before COVID. I haven't been to a fucking PCM appointment since before COVID.
nice.
Where's your PCM located?
New Braunfels.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. I need to get on that.
I did that on purpose.
Mine's at the fucking mall. Mine's at the fucking at what's the mall with the boots out front?
Oh, yeah.
North Star?
North Star.
Yeah, mine's at the North Star Mall. That's where mine is.
Anyway, community care.
I'm already past that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
No, that was just my
But community
Yeah.
care was a great fucking step in the right direction in supporting veterans.
which somebody shut down. So.
Imagine that. Well, and I think Trump said that on your first day, you fucked that up. You know, like
It's still there. But I put in a community care thing for mental health. Right? So I called the VA and I'm like, hey, I'm going through some fucking shit right now. I really need someone to talk with. And they're like, okay, cool, no problem. You think about killing yourself? And I'm like, no, I fucking need somebody to talk with. And they're like, okay, but if you are, you can call the veteran hotline. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I need an appointment with the fucking somebody. And they're like, okay, cool.
You know what the veteran hotline is? It's dudes like me and you.
Yeah, that answer the
answering
phone.
fucking phone.
Exactly.
Sup, dude?
Yeah. Right. So they're like, okay,
You kill yourself? You shouldn't do that.
okay. So I think it was October when I called them. They're like, our first available appointment is June 14th. I was like, do you understand what I just said when I called you? Like, well, yeah, we did. Are you going to harm yourself or somebody else?
No, but
I'm like, I'm fucking about to.
I might in fucking June. I might before June, dude.
So then I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm going to go use community care, right? Hey, I want a community care referral. Okay, awesome. We'll put you on the list. The list for what? Oh, to have an appointment with a VA doctor so they can give you a referral. What the fuck? Okay, how long is this going to take? Oh, well, our first appointment is June 6th. I save 8 days, but I have to wait fucking 9 months. Like, clearly, we're really busy. Oh, so my life doesn't matter.
Oh, you're really busy? You want to know why? Because I fought a fucking war.
It took me 9 months to get a mental health appointment.
Yeah, I know. I actually used your story recently in a conversation about I use you. So I was arguing with a friend of mine who is wildly liberal, and she was talking about universal health care.
Yeah, it's the VA.
And I explained to her, I was like, if you really want to know how universal health care works, ask any veteran you know about the VA, because that's literally what it is. By definition, it is a universal health care for a fucking population of people. Right?
The best part is they were like, well, we do have an avenue that you can speak with that might speed up the process. I'm like, perfect. What is it? They're like, it's called the patient advocate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sweet. And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, oh, it's a group that is based out of the VA, but they don't work for the VA. And if you are having problems with the VA, you contact patient advocacy, and they will step in for you and try to figure out the issue, because they're well versed in the ongoings of the VA. And I'm like, oh, sweet, awesome, cool. Give me their number. I'll call them right now. They're like, here you go. Thanks. Have a good one. I'm like, awesome, thanks. Hang up the phone, call patient advocacy, rings, goes to voicemail. Right? The best part ever. We're sorry. This voicemail box is full. And I'm like, you fucking pieces of shit.
And right there, dude, that is fucking universal health care.
Oh,
that's what happened.
So it took me 2 weeks.
There's 325 million people in America. 360 now, I think. What's the population of America now?
Documented.
That are documented. That are documented. You're right. All right. So let's call it an even fucking 400 grand. All right.
It says 341 as of.
All right. 341 million people
as of
in
today.
America. As of right now.
Hey, when's the last time you filled out a census form?
Ooh, fucking 15 years ago.
How's that number correct?
Good question. They're probably just counting at the border.
No,
These are all the ones that came through.
But there's 340
they
fucking
look at your
million
social
people.
media accounts. It's fine.
There's 341 fucking people on Facebook. So 341 million, right? Now all of them need a fucking doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
There's not that many doctors, man.
Oh, did I tell you about my CPAP with the sleep clinic?
No.
So they called me in January, and they're like, it's my yearly checkup. And if you don't use your CPAP for a certain percentage out of the time, then they don't allow you to stay in the program, meaning they don't send you supplies. They don't do any of that shit, right? So I get supplies for my CPAP. Every 6 months, they send me a box. It's a bunch of random shit.
Yeah, I do the same. I get the same.
Right? But if you don't use it, so my CPAP has a cellular thing, and they can pull the report, and they're like, oh, this is great. You used it 87% of the time. And I can't remember what the threshold is, but they were telling me that the first year I had it, they were like, well, you're not quite there yet. You need to use it more often. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, we're expecting you to use it, between 6 and 8 hours a night. And I'm like, well, what happens if I only sleep 3 or 4 hours that night? I'm using it.
Yeah.
I'm just not like,
The rest of the time, I'm strung out on cocaine, motherfucker.
yeah, that's
I'm
why
up all night.
I
that's
do
why
cocaine and I eat a lot of candy.
that's why I need a
Fuck you.
CPAP.
I do cocaine. I drink Monster.
Right? So
What's up?
they call me in January and they're like, hey, have you been using it? I'm like, yeah, I use it every fucking night religiously. Like I die if I don't wear this thing. Literally. Like it's
Dude, I'll confirm because we've gone on hunting trips and
it's fucking bad.
you wear your fucking
I will wear it everywhere. I don't
you
care.
bring your
You can
CPAP.
make fun of me. You do what you talk all the
Meanwhile, someone who should also be using
you
one,
definitely fucking need it.
he'll tell you because he has slept in the same room as me multiple
I watched the
times.
windows get sucked in and pushed out on the camper when you breathe.
Like I don't
So-
I don't use the fucking
So
thing.
they call me January and like, have you been using it? And I'm like,
Bad
yeah,
CPAP
religiously
member.
every fucking night.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't have any data. And I'm like, okay, like why? Well, your machine's not connecting. Okay, I don't know. I haven't changed a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we need to know if you're using it or not. I'm like, trust me, lady, I'm fucking using it. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah. And she's like, well, we
Like,
need
am I
to,
talking to you right now?
yeah,
He's like,
we need
It's
to
like, well, I
schedule you an
didn't
appointment
die.
so you can bring the machine in and then we can look at it. I'm like, what? Can I just walk in and show it to you? Can you just send me a new one and I give you this one back? Like, I don't want to have to take a fucking day off of work just to come see you guys.
Yeah.
She's like, well, this is it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, when's the appointment? I'll see if I can make it work. This is January, mind you. She's like, July 27th. I was like, excuse me? And I'm like, you don't have anything between now, which is January, and July 27th. And she's like, I'm sorry, sir. We're really busy and there's only 3 of us here. And I'm like, not my fucking problem. Like, it's not. You know, she's like, well, if you don't bring it in for your appointment, we won't be able to send you resupplies. And I'm like, you fucking cunt. Like,
Yeah.
just send me a new. So then I ask them, I'm like, hey, well, I got you on the phone. They make this fancy little battery powered one that I can take like camping or hunting or whatever, where I don't have access to electricity. How can I get one of those through the VA?
Oh, I asked that. It's a hard no.
You know what they say?
Uh-huh.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah.
I was like, no, having a CPAP is a
Yeah,
necessity.
you just told me I had to use
And
it.
if I don't have power, I can't use it. And she's like, well, then find a place that has power.
Yeah.
Bitch.
By that rationale, you should be like, okay, I'm going to buy an RV. Can I run off my RV? Right? This is now medical equipment. I had to have an RV.
Anyway, I think the bottom line is the veterans are not 100% behind Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heart.
And neither Biden nor Trump did anything spectacular for veterans.
No, because and I think that comes down not to the individuals in their defense, both of their defense. It's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's the system that's been in place
Yeah.
that they're rolling with.
Like, do I think Biden is pro-veteran? Yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't think he hates
No,
veterans.
I don't think that at all.
Yeah. Like, no. And like, I do hate that he brings his son up all the time.
Yeah.
You know, well, my son died because of injuries
Well,
from
he-
Iraq. And it's like, no, your son had cancer.
First, he starts it off with my son died in Iraq.
It
And
was-
he's like, injuries from Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which he has claimed,
yeah.
which is fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, because he's essentially being like, pay attention to me. And like, I
Who
guess
was saying, I heard
there was one of the guys who got injured during the Afghan during the Afghan pullout. That when Biden came and visited him, he started talking about his son instead of anything about him.
Right.
And he was like, dude, dude, my mom got fucking mad. My mom was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Get him the fuck out of here. I was like threw him out of the room,
Yeah.
you know? And she was like, you fucking did this.
Well, and
fuck you.
back to the debate, Biden said that no service members died on his watch. Like,
Which go fuck yourself, man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's 13 that'll disagree.
well, there's at least,
There's 13 families out
Yeah.
there that will disagree.
and that's not counting any special ops missions or anything that you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's more than 13.
It's way more.
No president can claim not to have lost any soldiers during.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
bullshit.
And even training mishaps
Yeah.
and shit like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
but
can't-
again, that's just an old man spewing bullshit,
Yeah.
you know? And which goes back to the cognizant reality that is,
Yeah.
he ain't got it anymore, man.
But just
Like,
trying
he's
to
old as fuck.
finish a sentence.
I can't find a fact check that makes sense without fact checking the fact check. Like this one is Social Security, Medicare and taxes. Trump, Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into this country and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them into Medicare and Medicaid. Their fact check was false. It's wrong to say immigration will destroy Social Security. Social Security's fiscal challenges stem from a shortage of workers compared with beneficiaries.
But if the jobs are up so high,
Hold on. But wait, there's more. Immigration. I understand the logic in that in that statement. Immigration is far from the fiscal fix-all for Social Security's challenges. But having more immigrants in the United States would increase the worker to beneficiary ratio potentially for decades, thus extending the program's solvency, experts say. But wait, there's more. Most immigrants in the U.S. illegally are also ineligible for Social Security. However, pause for effect. People who entered the U.S. illegally and were granted humanitarian parole, which is the majority of
Right.
a temporary permission to stay in the country for more than 1 year, are eligible for Social Security.
There you go.
So wait, you're letting in people that aren't adding to the workforce.
So they've been here a year. We deport them, and they get Social Security in their other country.
No, they don't even get deported.
Well,
They just get to hang out.
but even if we did, right? If they were here for more than a
Probably.
year,
Fuck. Yeah.
that's fucking batshit, dude.
yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I think
Biden says Trump, quote, wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security, end quote. Fact check, false. What do we got up there?
This is upon learning from his mother that Biden was president. Vargas Andrews said he leaned back, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my fucking God. That's what I said. And the Secret Service dude was like, beat red and like trying not to laugh. 2 minutes later, he walks in with Joe Biden and a little entourage of people and like a photographer. Right away, I remember him coming up to me, trying to shake my hand, shaking my right hand. And I look at him like, I don't have an arm. My left arm is a big fucking cast with this giant orange fucking foam block around it. I'm completely immobile. All I can do is move my head. There's a picture of it. Vargas gets it. So Vargas Andrews recalled Biden saying, "Oh, when we realized he wouldn't be able to shake his hand, and then stood up before attempting a different approach. Then Biden like goes over to reach for my fingers because about an inch of my fingers are showing, and like grab my fingers. Doesn't say great meeting you or anything. Just says what happened. Just grab my fingers. Was like, okay, that's weird. What?
No, it said just that's what happened.
That's what. Okay." The Marine says the president then almost immediately started talking about his late son, Beau Biden, who served in Iraq as a member of the Delaware Army National Guard, but didn't acknowledge the devastating Kabul bombing enraging the serviceman's mother. Doesn't say anything about what happened, just starts talking about how their son served in the military. My mom is just like, she's furious at this point, and they're like taking pictures and stuff. My mom says, that's like, I don't care. I don't care what you guys do. She's like, you better take care of him for the rest of his life. Then said Biden then leaned over him and inches from his face muttered, "What do you want?" And I said, "What do you want?" I said, "What?" He said, "What do you want?" I'm so confused, man. I just got blown up. Just fucking saw my friends die next to me. Like, I just want to be myself. The maimed Marine remembered. And then he's like, huh? My mom's furious. And she goes like, he just wants to be himself. He just wants to be him. He said he just wants to be me. Okay. And then goes, oh, okay. And then they continue to talk about everything about what just happened. And then they just ushered him out of the room. He didn't know what to say. Vargas Andrews said about the interaction. That's fucking funny.
yeah.
What would you do if you're laying in a hospital bed and Biden leans over and just goes, "What do you want?" Like, what do you fucking say to that?
Out of it, like, sir, get out.
I'd have been like, dude, I want you to fuck off right now.
I want a presidential pardon for something I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sir, respectfully, go fuck yourself.
I don't think I would have said, like, with all due respect. No.
No, I would, because you have to respect the position. You don't have to respect the person. No matter who it is.
That's true.
He's
still active duty. So
I will respect the position of the president of the United States of America.
Yeah. Well, see that's always the thing that I argue with about people who are like, fuck Biden, everything he does. It's like, yeah, everything he's doing is fucked up. It sucks. Yeah. He's not a good president.
But he's still the president.
I still
of the
want him
United
to.
States.
I still want him to win. I want our president
Yeah.
to have a winning day. You know what I mean? Because if he wins, we all win.
I want him to be able to make a sound decision.
Yeah. Like I did not like Obama. I didn't vote well, that's not true. I voted for him once, but fucking I didn't vote for him every time. And it was like, I didn't like his policies. I didn't like what he did. But you know what? That doesn't mean I wanted him to fail.
No, yeah.
You know
but
what I
at least
mean?
Obama, like I've heard he's a good dude. Like you can have a beer with him. You can talk,
Dakota Meyer.
you can have a
said that.
coherent
Yeah.
conversation with him.
Because
Right?
I guess when Dakota Meyer got the Medal of Honor,
Yeah.
he was like, what can I do for you? And he's like, can we have a beer together? And he was like, yeah. And they set up like a fucking like they set it up in the Rose Garden,
Right.
2 chairs, cooler of beer, and they just sat there and bullshit.
Yeah. Which that's awesome.
That's fucking great, man.
and-
like that's cool.
Yeah, it is. Now you couldn't even do that with Biden.
No,
Well, you could, but he'd never make it to the Rose Garden.
no, he'd be drinking Ensure.
Like
No, he'd get lost. His handler would take him out.
I would
to the
I would
side.
rather have a blow with his son.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Can I just hang
can I
out
do a
with
line of
Hunter for a
coke
bit?
with Hunter? Like
We're gonna do a bump. Is that cool? I know you guys got bumps around here. The whole fucking West Wing.
I know there's some
fucking
in the evidence
sugar-coated
locker
now.
of the Secret Service. We
Yeah.
can go get some.
The whole West Wing sugar coated these days. Fuck.
Yeah.
Just booger sugar coated. I don't know, dude. Like, it terrifies me. That debate fucking, it should scare all of us.
Well, I'm glad it did. I think it did.
Oh, sure.
And I'm
Because-
glad it finally did.
You know what it might do? And this is what I hope it does. I hope that it shows people that actions have fucking consequences, even on that scale.
Yeah.
All right. And this goes.
You say even on that scale, especially on that
But
fucking scale.
this goes for not just Biden. This goes for Trump too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because guys, we are the ones that fucking put Trump in the first place. Just like people who did Hillary the last time.
Yeah.
We as a fucking society have created these fucking monsters. And now we have to deal with them because our actions have fucking consequences. You know what I mean? And if I'm given 2 choices again, which it looks like we're going to be given 2 choices,
Yeah.
I think the choice is pretty fucking clear. I
Well-
want the guy who can at least fucking think and maybe be reasoned with.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to see. Like, okay, how many times has it happened where a president's died in office? Right? It's a thing where the country mourns, right? And this one wouldn't be good.
Well, if honestly, if Biden died tomorrow, people would be like, I saw it coming.
Yeah,
They'd be
but I
like,
mean,
fuck.
it wouldn't be good on the world stage. It's not good. It's
No.
just not good.
No, it's terrible.
You know,
It's
like-
a terrible thing when someone. It's not good when anybody dies.
Right.
I feel like it hits even fucking harder when someone dies in office, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's more weight to it for sure, right? And like,
Just lasting consequence. Yeah.
like I mean, at this point, you could put Carter back in office, and we'd have about the same.
Well, they're about the same age. Didn't they go to high school together or some shit?
Like,
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I think that if George Bush Sr. was alive, who only served 4 years, came out and was like, I'm going to run, I think he would win in a landslide.
yeah, I think Junior would stand a good chance again.
Junior did 8.
Yeah. Well,
Like, yeah. I guarantee you, the days of Bush and Clinton, as much as I thought Bill Clinton was a fuck up, he didn't do a bad job as president.
no, I would take that drama 100 to
Right.
a blowjob.
Oh, you got a
in the
blowjob in the Oval?
Oval? Okay.
Fucking A, dude. Like, what dude doesn't want a fucking
I
hand ski at
guarantee
work,
you,
bro?
every fucking president did. He just got caught.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Like,
He got caught.
you show me a CEO of a fucking Fortune 500 company that didn't
You know
get
what?
a blowjob in his office.
I bet you Biden hadn't. I bet you Biden hasn't.
Oh, you know what? I'll bet you Jill tried.
I don't
and
think-
he's like, get away from me, stranger.
I don't think Biden's had a boner since 94, bro.
But part of the Inflation Reduction Act, he should have lowered the cost of fucking Viagra.
Fucking A.
Well, it's generic now, John.
Oh, yeah,
No. Justin, what are we at on time on this one?
About an hour and 15 minutes, boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the longest. This is gonna be the longest.
Speaking of
debate.
boners, let's put a
I'm just
condom
getting
on
into
this
foreign policy and terrorism.
one. I think we're good. It was a shit show of a fuck.
Well, like real quick, let's each give a 3-minute synopsis of what we think of our opinion on the debate. Can you start it off, Scott?
Yeah, I think obviously Trump won. I don't think he did great. One, Trump never once talked about what he was going to do.
They never asked him.
Yes, but he still should have brought it up.
The only thing that they asked him that he was going to do is, will you agree with the election results, win or lose? And then his answer was, if it's a free, fair, and imbalanced election, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, there were no questions about
But he talked.
what he's
But
going to do in the
he
future.
talked a ton about what he had done. Right? Nobody gives a fuck anymore about what you had done.
But-
Talk about what you will do to make this country better.
But
And you will do better on debates, and you'll be a better president if you worry about what you're going to do. Right? He could have talked about how he was going to reverse all this shit. He could have talked about how he was going to lower inflation, how he was going to do all this stuff. I still have no idea what his plan is. Right?
right.
It's definitely going to be better than what we're doing now. And Biden, when you get congratulated for answering all the questions as the president of the United States during a presidential debate, that sums it up right there.
It's terrifying.
Joe, you answered all the questions. You did so good. It sums it up, right?
It's so
All the
terrifying.
media, everybody was terrified after watching that. I'm glad it's out there, but man, I wish there was another choice. Like I really do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Trump will do well. He won't do anything to bring the country together. That's just not going to happen. He's too polarizing, but
Yeah. John, what do you think, man? Your overall overarching opinion of the debate.
So I think, I don't know if this was talked about before we started recording or after we started recording, where I was saying that neither person, Trump nor Biden, were the selected party's candidate. Right? This is the earliest that a presidential debate has ever happened.
Yep.
And now, albeit the moderators, the CNN moderators, were semi-fair. They did a very, very good job, in my opinion.
They asked
I-
Biden some tough questions.
Yeah,
I thought he was
but-
going to get softballs.
I agree.
But
I
they,
agree.
when they
Yeah.
when they had they had their rules set up, and when they had their back and forth, there was only a couple times where they let it go a little bit longer than it should have. But one of the things that I did enjoy was when they'd ask a question and they had what was 2 or 3 minutes, I can't remember, to answer, and whatever candidate would give their response, and they would say, President so and so or Mr. so and so or whoever, thank you for your response. You have 67 seconds left. The question was this.
Yes.
Like, I appreciated that.
Yeah. Because
It wasn't
they were
just-
trying to get the answer.
But it wasn't just like, oh, you stopped talking. Cool. Let's move on. It was like, hey, you still have time left. What do you want to, you sure that's it? I appreciated that. But a little tinfoil hat putting on here. Neither party picked a candidate yet. And so I believe that, and mind the news articles, because up until today, it was, Biden's in question now. And today they're like, no, he's good.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I think that they put that out there to see, to gain, or to gauge, to see if they want to use Biden as their candidate or not.
You're saying that this was a ploy by the Democratic National Convention.
100%. No, not by the DNC.
By the media.
No, not by the media.
Or just by the Democrats.
It is
in
by
general.
the people that choose the Democratic candidate. And that is none of the above. There's a handful of people out there that are like, yep, it's going to be that guy.
So you're saying that they orchestrated this because they know that he can't beat Trump.
No, they don't know. But they're using this as data to figure it out or not.
Well, now they know. But they probably know.
Well, we'll
now.
see, because immediately after, both sides were like, ooh. You know what I mean? They're like, they might be looking for somebody else. Like, he kind of shit the bed on this, And then today it got put out. They're like, nope, Biden's it. This is where we're all standing behind him. And
Well,
it's just like,
I think maybe it might have been too where they were trying to see if they could get in Biden's head to get him to bow out. And I think he was a hard no, I'm not bowing out. And
Yeah.
so now they're back to like, well, there's not much they can do. But
That's because never
there
in
is.
history has a sitting president not been the nominee.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we have
Like-
also never had one like this.
He's also the oldest. Yes.
It's not even about the oldest. I don't care what age you are. If you can carry yourself,
Yeah.
It's true
and you can act appropriately.
Trump's only fucking 3 years younger than him, right?
And it's
So
a
that's
night
a-
and day
something like
difference.
that, yeah.
And he's 79 or 78. And
Yeah.
Biden's, I
81.
think 78, Biden's 81.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd be, well, I know that Trump was the oldest president ever until Biden was elected, right?
Yeah.
You good?
I don't care. We can keep talking if you want to talk.
No. Mikey wants his 3 minutes.
Oh, go
Well,
for it.
Well, no. All right. So I think debate, all in all, again, like you, I agree. I think CNN did an actual good job.
I think so too. I'll give
At this
it off.
debate. I love that there was no,
I was
no
worried
audience.
at first. I'm not going to lie.
For sure. So was I. I think a lot of people were, because they've not been the most fair and balanced news ever, right? So I appreciated that there was no audience. I appreciated that they fucking gave them the time limit. I appreciate that they let them know when they had extra time still or time remaining,
Yep.
and that they tried to push the initial question every time when they had time remaining,
Right.
because they would spend their entire minute and a half, whatever, basically rebuttaling whatever they had just said.
Yeah.
And then they were like, Mr. President, the question was, and I appreciated that. So as far as like the debate being ran that way, fucking love it. 10 out of 10,
and-
say we do it again.
And the fact they cut the mics.
And the fact they cut the mics.
I think
yes.
they did Trump a solid on that one.
I do too. I do
Well,
too.
I think it made the debate flow better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because they both had times where they said something and you could kind of hear it through the other person's mic,
A little bit. Yeah.
or maybe they didn't cut it completely. They just turned it down a lot,
Yeah.
But I think by them knowing that was the case, the candidates, for lack of better words, it prevented them from trying to speak over the other person.
Yeah.
100%.
No,
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that now Biden individually, I think he did fucking poorly. And I say it all the time. I don't like making fun of a man in mental decline. He's an old man. All right. He's an 81-year-old man. You are too old to be sitting in that seat anymore, my man.
Yeah.
All right. It's time to hang him up. All right. You've given this country a lot. I'm not discounting your service. Now, do I think that you're a fucking dog shit politician? Yes, I do. All right. My opinion is that your decisions and your fucking wish-washy bullshit throughout your entire career, since the fucking 70s, you've been dog shit. All right. But do I discount that you don't love America? You do. I believe that you do love America. I believe that you do give a fuck. I think you performed so fucking poorly that it's a huge wake-up call to the Democratic Party. Alternatively, Trump, you didn't do fucking that great either. I will give you this much. You are the same Donald Trump that we voted for in 2016.
Yeah.
Like your energy levels, everything that you do, everything that you say, your speech patterns, everything, your cognitive ability, you have not declined in the last 8 years. And for that, for a man at your age, for me to be able to say that, just from me noticing, my hat's off to you, sir. All right. That's genetics that can't be taught. All right. Like, good for you. You are far more fucking mentally inclined to run this country than the other guy sitting across the stage. That said, stop being a fucking douche. All right. You're still a fucking douchebag, man. Stop being such a tool. All right. Like, you would have so much more support right now. You have the opportunity where there were all those fucking voters who voted for Biden last time and are watching him going, holy fuck, he's gone. He's gone. We gotta have fucking, dude, now's your time to fucking actually show them that you're not a piece of shit. Take advantage of this moment. All right. That's the moment to fucking show them that you're not a douchebag. All right. I know it's hard because you're from fucking New York, but still, all right. like this is your moment. You won the debate. All right. But honestly, if it would have been me and Scott or me or Scott or John or Justin or fucking a bum on the goddamn street, you'd have fucking lost. You'd have lost the debate. You're not that fucking good. All right.
Well, he had nothing to say about any of us.
Yeah, clean your fucking shit up, man. Like it's not always
you
a hit
won.
job.
You won the debate, but it was against a geriatric old man.
Yeah.
So-
So clean your fucking, tighten your goddamn screws and answer the fucking questions that you're asked. I get that you want to fucking rebuttal whatever he's saying, but here's the fucking fact, Donnie. Nobody's listening to what he's fucking saying anymore because they all know he's an old man in decline. All right. So just fucking answer the goddamn questions. If you'd have been the adult in the room, I guarantee you every fucking poll in the country right now would have fucking been highly, highly colored red. And because you fucking still have, because Trump's going to Trump and you don't know when to shut the fuck up, it's still in question, man. If you'd have just been the adult in the fucking room. So that's my take on the debate. All right. You do another debate with him, be the fucking adult.
Yeah. If he starts talking about golf scores, don't take the bait.
Yeah. Well, actually, that part was hilarious. That showed a little bit of humanity, and I agree with you.
Yeah, that was the realest part.
It was the realest part of that debate of the entire night. All right. So
and the realest part is because
don't get me wrong, I like
showed
watching two old men talk shit.
It showed who the liar was.
it did. It really did.
Right?
Yeah.
I've never won a fucking tour championship. I know that. I've never.
I don't play golf.
Trump does, and Trump's pretty fucking good from what I understand. I know people who played with
His
him.
handicap is 2.5.
God damn, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yep.
He owns a course.
That's true. That's true. He owns more than one, I believe. Fuck. That's true. Well, anyways, that's my take on the debate.
All right. Well, let's wrap this bitch up.
Cool. Like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons, everybody. Let us know your opinions, all right? Like if you think we're off on something or if we're fucked up or if you agree with us, let us know in the comments. We appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this slightly longer debate on Decision 2024. No, it's just three little things, guys. I'll raise my glass, say cheers. Thanks for being my freedom friend. Cheers, boys. Three little things. John?
Smoke on.
Scotty?
Drink on.
Aye, sir. God damn it. Freedom to fuck on. Later.